Cheers.
Yeah, that works, except when we're playing sports together.
Oh yeah. Not a good thing.
She can't handle losing, and I'm a winner.
Oh.
So
See, this is why we don't play sports, because of his attitude like that.
and so
Even if I'm winning, he's a sourpuss.
Thank you, girl.
You are.
Yeah, we are highly competitive people, and so when we play sports together, it usually doesn't end with high fives. It's usually like turning our back, not talking, eye rolls, wanting to fight each other. Well, you usually want to hit me, but
Yeah.
so going back to that conversation, I think like besides God as a first value, I think second has to be each other's self-care, and like me encouraging you in your self-care and you encouraging me in my self-care. So if that looks like me going for a walk, drinking tea, reading a book, hitting the gym, and for you it looks like you going to the masseuse, or you getting time with your horses or whatever, to make sure that life doesn't become so busy that we neglect seeing that each other are not walking out our own hobbies or our own self-care, seeing to our own self-care, I should say.
But when you're talking about marrying somebody, well, don't forget, a lifelong commitment to one person is kinda serious. I've seen people be more serious about a commitment to a mortgage for 30 years than they are their marriage. And they'll get all this information, and they'll go get all of these people to come look at the house and inspect it, and they'll do all they'll have 4 or 5 family members come see, and they'll see if they really want to do the 30-year mortgage and sign their document that's going to bind them to this agreement. And they'll do all that to buy a house, and they won't spend the same amount of time to get advice before they get married. All I'm saying is, don't be scared of the seriousness of this act. Just recognize the significance.
Tim Ross is like, this is serious. This is serious. This is serious.
Get it, serious.
All right, yes. You spoke like 5 minutes about how serious it is, and the video is 5 minutes and 1 second. Like, I think he's like, for us, like, we didn't really think how serious this is. It's more of us like doing things for joy, because of love, because of doing things right in God, and taking a step for our family and our future. But like, to think about, this is a lifelong commitment that no matter what, forsaking all. You are the most emotionally well person I know, emotionally
How about that?
intelligent person I know, and the most emotionally mature person I know. And I'm saying that like, just making sure I'm not lying. Like, I really believe that. Like, I've never met anyone who's as emotionally well, mature, and intelligent as you are. And thank you, Mama and Dada, for being that to Halice, to see that, and for you to grow and be that person. Because like, honestly, and I know you now, being in the church world and leading among like a lot of different relationships, now you're seeing, oh crap, all these people. You need to stop. You get in trouble, right? But now you're seeing like, oh, I didn't realize how emotionally mature I was until I had to like help and serve other people. Then you're seeing, now you're seeing. So yeah, girl, you are amazing. I think like, you even like, I just listen to you when it comes to emotions. Like, I don't like emotions, the relational area. I just like, I listen to you because I know like you are very gifted by God in those areas. So I learn a lot from you in that. If there's one thing I pay attention to, and I'm always like observant, is how you like emotionally flow through things, and relationally, because I think you can't be relationally intelligent if you're emotionally immature. So you have that. Anyways, that is you, girl.
So when it comes to unconditional love, I mean, you display that already a lot too. especially because you always, like, no matter what, not even message me first thing in the morning, because I know you're talking to God, like you're messaging Him, you're talking to Him, and I really respect and love that about you. That you will, I hope and I know, will always put Him first in your relationship and even with us, and that's so important, because if you don't, then we will probably fall.
Yep.
So that's really important too.
Thank you. Thank you. Just you're beautiful.
You're so beautiful too.
Thank you. Your eyes are like heaven. So, how do you resolve differences or disagreements when it comes to beliefs and lifestyle choices? So that question I think is really good, because I think you and I should create some values for our marriage. So when it comes to making decisions, we make the decision based on the values.
Yeah. I mean, just like with the church, we have our core values. And with anything, we have values that's important. Like here recently, I had to make a tough decision to leave my job I'm currently at starting after we come back from our honeymoon, because I'm going to be starting clinicals soon with school. It's going to take a lot of my time. So if I do work on a Saturday, I won't have a Sabbath. I won't have a day off. So one of my core values is family. So if I do decide to do clinicals from Monday through Friday, but then I'm working Saturday and I have church on Sunday, I'm not giving myself a day to be able to spend with my family.
That's really
So it's the same with relationship. I do agree if we write down our core values, no matter what disagreement or confrontation or with anything, we look at these core values. Okay, does it line up with this?
Yeah.
Does it line up with this? Does it line up with this? No? Okay, well, we got to figure something out.
That's really good. I'm proud of you. Yeah, values make decision making easy. Every time I need to make a decision, honestly now, and it's not like a God thing. So like I say this, if God doesn't give, well, I shouldn't say I say this. I learned this from one of my mentors. When God doesn't give you a word, use wisdom. And one of the best wisdoms is values. To have values in place. So when you're like, I don't know what to do. Well, you know, God first, faith first. That's awesome. So what are your thoughts on having children? And how much do you want to parent together? No. What are your... Wait. What are your thoughts on having children, and how do you imagine us parenting together?
My first thoughts of children is just a lot of joy, a lot of fun, and to me it's really important that our kids know their identity. They know who they are, yes, through Christ, but also who they are as an individual.
Yep.
Even if we have the most stubborn child
Yep.
and most rebellious child,
Yep.
that we are having conversations with them, speaking life into them, not trying to change them, even if they're rebellious. Like if that's...
Well, it depends on age, right? So we're talking about
but
teens,
like,
that
just
age and above.
communicating and speaking life into them, and not... I don't know, you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. I think, okay, so like when they're before teens, we're gonna have to like kind of tell them as it is. This is our beliefs, this is who we are. We kind of have to use authority. You can't be like, oh, you want the donuts for dinner? Here you go. Like, no.
Yeah.
But when they become like a teen and they're like, I want donuts for dinner, now we sit down and say, okay, let's have a conversation. So when a child with a child you use authority, with a teenager you use influence, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's what you're saying is like, I think it's called individuation. And if you don't go through that season of having your own perspectives and your own perception, and you develop your own mindset through the information and influences in your life and become who you are, and you don't have to go through that season, it turns into a lot of dysfunctional living in the future.
Yeah.
And so I went through that, where I grew up in a super religious home and everything was like hellfire, brimstone religion. And what that did to me, it made me who I never wanted to be. I become a person that was very, very hypocritical, angry, a lot of hidden things. I honestly don't like that person when I think back about who I was. But it was because I never had that time to become an individual, to have my own worldview.
Yeah.
So I was told what to believe, and I was told these are the norms, and I was told this is who you gotta be. And if I tried to deviate, it was not allowed. It's like, whoa, if I asked questions, it was seen as rebellious. Whereas like for me, I want to like sit down and have conversations with my children and say, okay, help me understand this and this and this and this and this, and more like use those opportunities as use those moments as opportunities to influence them to the right decision, but not like, if you don't, then you are not. Like I remember, this is really sad. I remember one of my cousins wanted to date a guy for a different skin color, and her father said, if you date this dude of a different skin color, you're no longer my daughter. What? And I had to like sit with my cousin and have those conversations like, what?
I always knew to put God first
So you're talking about vows to God?
in your relationship, in your marriage, but I don't think I actually thought that like when you get married that you give your vows to God.
Yeah.
You always hear about giving vows to each other.
Yeah.